folks, we are going to ride the train for this video, so I'm really getting excited about that. And welcome everybody to another edition of Historical Geocaching on the road with Geocacher T and Photobug from Chattanooga, Tennessee, currently visiting Greenfield Village, an outdoor history museum in Dearborn, Michigan. This video, I'm really excited. We're going to ride the Weiser Railroad, the train, I think it's the Edison today, all the way around the village. So come along with us, come along with me on a train ride. Doot doot!
Welcome to the Weiser Railroad and the Edison locomotive. For your safety, please remain seated until the train comes to a complete stop. You certainly keep your arms and legs, and especially your heads, inside the train at all times. Also, please avoid eating, smoking, or drinking anything except water while on the train. We are starting out on a complete circle of Greenfield Village. 2.5 miles of track. It'll take us a half hour to get back here to the main gate. Greenfield Village is divided into historic districts. I'll point them out as we go along. Right now we're leaving the Firestone train station in the working farm district, going into the Henry Ford Model T district. The white farmhouse on the left is the Ford Farm from Springwell Township, Michigan, built in 1861. That is where our founding father Henry Ford was born in July of 1864. Going past the Ford Farm, you'll see Main Street all decked out for our annual Ragtime Street Festival this weekend. Plenty of fun, food, music, dancing. Go over there and enjoy yourself. Ragtime Street Festival in progress right now. We are now in the Edison at Work district. The big gray building to the left is the Menlo Park Laboratory Complex from Menlo Park, New Jersey. That is where, in October of 1879, Thomas Edison and his research team invented the first practical incandescent electric light bulb. Across the street, the big yellow building is the Sarah Jordan Boarding House, also from Menlo Park, New Jersey, where all the single men who worked for Thomas Edison lived. The Sarah Jordan Boarding House was one of the first private residences wired for electric lighting. We're now in the historic Porches and Parlor district, approaching the Ackley Covered Bridge. The covered bridge was built in 1832 in southwest Pennsylvania, where it crossed Wheeling Creek near the town of West Findlay, Pennsylvania. We are also approaching our first train stop of the trip, the Susquehanna train stop, next to the Susquehanna Plantation House of 1861. Please remain seated until the train comes to a complete stop. I'll tell you when it's safe to stand up. We do have to set an air brake, you know. At this stop, those of you leaving us may exit on the left-hand side. Left-hand side only, please. That is where the train platform is at. The Weiser Railroad and the Edison locomotive. For your safety, please remain seated until the train comes to a complete stop. Be certain to keep your arms and legs, and especially your heads, inside the train at all times. Also, please avoid eating, smoking, or drinking anything except water while on the train. The small red building on the left is the oldest American-made house in Greenfield Village, the Plimpton House from Sudbury, Massachusetts, built in 1700, home to Mr. and Mrs. Plimpton and their 7 children. Then there's the Ferris windmill from Cape Cod, Massachusetts, from the middle 1600s, believed to be the oldest windmill in the United States and the location of our candle dipping workshop today. You can go down there, join the group, make your own beeswax candles. And the Daggett Farmhouse from northern Connecticut, built in 1754. The Daggett Farmhouse also predates the American Revolution. The locomotive pulling our train today is the historic Edison, a completely rebuilt 1870 Manchester-type locomotive. The Edison was completely rebuilt in 1932 at the Ford Rouge plant to its present appearance and wheel configuration. Next now we're going into the newest district of Greenfield Village, the Rouge River Oxbow District, largest ongoing wetland restoration project in southeast Michigan. Since we began restoring the wetlands, all the birds and all the wild animals that lived back here a long time ago are all coming back home. We have a whole herd of white-tailed deer back in here again. We have fox, raccoons, possums, skunks, a couple of wily old coyotes, and several times we've had confirmed sightings of American bald eagles back here in the wetland. A few years ago, we even had a nesting pair of bald eagles in here. We are now entering the wetland area. Looking around, you can see some of the hiking and nature trails we have in here now. We have an access road, a 14-acre island. We're planning a campground with canoe facilities for the scouts and the youth groups. A lot of work needs to be done in here yet. We probably won't be finished for a few more years. Next thing we'll see is a small tent over on the right-hand side. The upcoming tent is the campground of the United States Forestry Service Ranger. Greenfield Village has its own forest rangers now, patrolling the Oxbow on horseback. In the early 1900s, the Rangers of the United States Forestry Service patrolled the public lands, protecting against illegal mining, illegal lumbering, and poaching. Also over on the right, at the bottom of the hill, is a small stream. The stream is the Rouge River Oxbow, which has been reconnected to the Rouge River and flows back into the Rouge, just in back of us here at the bridge near Michigan Avenue. The open field coming up is Walnut Grove, an activities field, and the ballpark for our two historic old-time baseball teams, the Nationals and the La-Di-Das. Our baseball teams play the game here on the weekends during the summer using 1867 baseball rules. None of our players, by the way, wear gloves. In the 1800s, the modern baseball glove had not been invented yet. Most players refused to wear gloves of any kind because they considered it to be unmanly. The yellow buildings are the campus buildings of the Henry Ford Academy, a fully accredited four-year charter high school, grades 9 through 12. We had just over 500 students enrolled here this past academic year. The students were all selected by lottery from all over Wayne County, and it is free all 4 years. The body of water on the left is the Stuvani Lagoon, part of a series of catch basins for excess storm runoff and flood control in Greenfield Village. The old train cars we're passing now have been rebuilt and joined in the middle. They're now being used as the classrooms for the seniors of the Henry Ford Academy. Sit back for a minute now and listen to the sound of history. The sound of the wheels against the tracks, the locomotive, bell, horn, and whistle, the sound of the steam. These were all very common sounds in the 1800s, but seldom is ever heard these days unless, of course, you come to a special place like Greenfield Village. On the left, past the lagoon, a couple of outstanding restaurants. The green building is the Taste of History or cafeteria-style restaurant. The big white building next to it is the Eagle Tavern, originally built in 1832 in Clinton, Michigan. The Eagle Tavern was a stagecoach stop on the main road between Detroit and Chicago. Taste of History Cafeteria and Eagle Tavern directly on our left, open for business at 11 a.m., which is just about an hour from now. Ladies and gentlemen, we're entering the Smith Creek train depot on the north side of Greenfield Village. Please remain seated until the train completely stops. I'll tell you when it's safe to stand up. At this stop, those of you leaving us may exit on the left-hand side. Left-hand side only, please. That's where the train platform is at. Welcome to the Liza Railroad and the Edison locomotive. For your safety, please remain seated until the train comes to a complete stop. Be certain to keep your arms and legs, and especially your heads, inside the train at all times. Also, please avoid eating, smoking, or drinking anything except water while on the train. We are now in the Railroad Junction district of Greenfield Village, going past the historic Smiths Creek train station from Smiths Creek, Michigan, where the young Thomas Edison sold newspapers during the American Civil War. The large brick building coming up on our left is the old Detroit, Toledo, and Milwaukee Roundhouse, originally built in Marshall, Michigan in 1884, parts of which were brought here to Greenfield Village and rebuilt in the year 2000. The Roundhouse is where we take our steam locomotives and our rolling stock for inspection, service, maintenance, and repair. It is open to visitors. You can go inside, look around. They'll tell you all about steam locomotives. Now, just past the Roundhouse, we're in back of Liberty Craft Works, the arts and crafts section of the village. You can go into the buildings over there and watch our master craftsmen at work at glass blowing, pottery, tinsmithing, printing, wool carding, weaving. We've also got a couple of sawmills over there and a grist mill to look at. Also at our glass shop, they're giving glass blowing instructions today. For a fee, you get 1/2 hour of training in glass blowing, and then you can use the blowpipe and create your own unique blown glass flower. That's at the glass shop. Also at the Liberty Craftworks store. At the Liberty Craftworks store, they're having hands-on training on tinsmithing. For $2, you can make your very own tin medallion. That's at the Liberty Craftworks gift store. Over on our right, the farmhouse is the Firestone Farm from Columbiana County, Ohio, from the late 1880s. Firestone Farm was the home and birthplace of Harvey Firestone, who was a good friend of Henry Ford and founded the Firestone Tire and Rubber Company in 1900. After more than 100 years, the Firestone Farm is still a living, working, historical farm, using many of the same agricultural methods of the late 1880s. Ladies and gentlemen, we're now approaching the Firestone train station back at the main gate. Please remain seated until the train completely stops. I'll tell you when it's safe to stand up. At this stop, those of you leaving us may exit on the right-hand side. Right-hand side only, please. That is where the train platform is at.
Okay, we have now gone off the train. I'm going to do some more exploring, but thank you for watching this video, and stay tuned for even more videos of Greenfield Village. Be sure to check out my blog at www.historicalgeocaching.blogspot.com for details on this video and other things that are history and geocaching related. As always, this is Geocacher TN Photobook signing out. I'm having a blast with the past.